Here is the news at 10. First, the highlight. Lagos State Government holds Thanksgiving services, prayers to celebrate President Tinubu's 73rd birthday. Senate set to review President Tinubu's tax bills after recess. On the foreign scene, critical medical shortages hamper rescue efforts after deadly earthquake in Myanmar. And in sport, world tennis number one Arina Sabalenka dominates Jessica Peluga to claim first Miami Open title. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Government has celebrated President Bola Tinubu's 73rd birthday with Thanksgiving services and prayers held simultaneously at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, and Lagos Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Alausa, as well as other religious centers in the 5 divisions of the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu led Christian faithfuls at a program held at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, while his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, led the special birthday prayer at the Lagos Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Alausa. Speaking during the service, Governor Sanwo-Olu thanked God for the gift of President Tinubu and for the great impact he has made and is still making in Lagos. On his part, Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat enjoined Nigerians to exercise patience and work with President Tinubu to ensure that the various policies initiated by his administration to revive the nation's economy for the good of all yield positive results. In his sermon, the prelate emeritus of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Sunday Makinde, thanked God for sparing the life of President Tinubu while commending the president for taking some great giant steps in his reforms and infrastructural development. Also, Imam Hakim Lawal, in his message at the event, commended President Tinubu for choosing the path of prayer and thanksgiving to celebrate his birthday this year, noting that one of the unique ways to be successful as a leader is to be thankful and submissive to God. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Abubakar III, has declared Sunday the Eid al-Fitr Day. Ramadan ended on Saturday following the sighting of the moon, signaling the beginning of the new Islamic month, Shawwal. In his speech while addressing journalists on Saturday night in his palace, the Sultan said the moon was sighted in many places in Nigeria by some Islamic leaders and verified by the Sultanate Council. The monarch listed cities where moon was sighted to include Sokoto, Kano, Maiduguri, Jos, Zaria, and Kaduna. The Sultan implored Muslims to continue to live in peace regardless of their ethnic differences and called for prayers for Nigeria and her leaders to overcome challenges facing the country. Meanwhile, the Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC has extended warm felicitations to Muslims across the state and beyond on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. The party chairman, Cornelius Ojelabi, urged Muslims to hold dear the lessons of Ramadan, which embodied piety, self-discipline, and compassion to foster greater unity, love, and understanding among Lagosians. Ojelabi prayed for Allah's blessings, seeking peace, stability, and progress for the state and nation. He emphasized the importance of maintaining a clean environment, respecting the state's aesthetics, and avoiding harmful acts during the celebrations. In a related development, the special advisor to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on transportation, Shola Giwa, felicitated with Muslim faithful in Lagos State as they commemorate the sacred occasion of Eid al-Fitr. Giwa said the unwavering fortitude, discipline, and spiritual devotion exhibited throughout the period of fasting, underscoring the ethos of love, self-sacrifice, and unity cultivated during Ramadan, should transcend the celebrations and reflect in everyday life. He enjoined all Lagosians, particularly road users, to embody the virtues of patience, courtesy, and civic responsibility that Ramadan instills. Giwa admonished motorists, commercial drivers, and commuters to exercise heightened vigilance and accord utmost priority to safety while traversing the metropolis, especially during this festive period. He called for strict compliance with traffic regulations to avert accidents and mitigate unnecessary congestion. Also, the Lagos State Drivers Institute, LASDRI, has stressed the need for all road users to take safety measures during the Eid al-Fitr celebrations seriously. In her Eid al-Fitr message, LASDRI General Manager Afusat Tiamiyu commended the Muslim faithful for adhering strictly to Islamic injunctions and urged them to continue to imbibe the spirit even after Ramadan. Tiamiyu explained that this period is often characterized by increased movement on the road, leading to an increased risk of road crashes if safety measures are not given the needed attention. She admonished all road users to take frontline responsibility for their safety and that of other road users by refraining from overloading, speeding, and engaging in dangerous driving to ensure a safe and incident-free celebration. Now to the rest of the stories. The Senate says it will prioritize the consideration and passage of President Bola Tinubu's tax reform bills when it resumes from recess on April 29. The four bills, the Nigerian Tax Bill, Tax Administration Bill, Revenue Tax Board Bill, and Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, were submitted by the President as part of his efforts to overhaul the country's fiscal policies and enhance revenue generation. Concerns have been raised over the delay in passing the bills, particularly since the House of Representatives approved them 2 weeks ago, placing additional pressure on the Senate. Earlier, Yemi Adaramodu, chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, suggested that the bills could be passed before lawmakers went on break. The Federal Fire Service, FFS, has highlighted the critical need for the installation of onboard cameras on tankers and other articulated vehicles transporting flammable materials. Controller General of FFS, Abdul Ganiyu Jaji, stated this in his Eid al-Fitr message, saying the service is on red alert to address possible emergencies across the nation before, during, and after the period. Judges said this precautionary measure is aimed at preventing accidents and ensuring safety of the public and critical infrastructure, especially during the high traffic period of Eid celebrations. He called on relevant stakeholders to adopt these safety features to reduce risks and enhance overall road and critical facility safety. The fire service boss also urged citizens to familiarize themselves with the contact information of their local fire service units, ensuring prompt action in case of fire emergencies. Now to foreign news. The United Nations has warned that a severe shortage of medical supplies is hampering the response to a deadly earthquake that hit Myanmar as the search for survivors continues. More than 1,600 people have been killed following the huge 7.7 magnitude earthquake that also impacted neighboring countries, including Thailand. In Bangkok, a 12th body was recovered late on Saturday evening from the site of a collapsed high-rise, and in Mandalay, Myanmar, a woman was recovered alive after being trapped under rubble for 30 hours. In war-torn Myanmar, the National Unity Government, which is in exile, announced a 2-week pause in offensive military operations in areas affected by the earthquake. And in sport, world number one, Arina Sabalenka, has claimed her second title of the year by beating Jessica Pegula 7-5, 6-2 in the Women's Miami Open Final. There were 7 breaks of serve in a hard-fought first set, which swung the way of both players before the Belarusian won a game to love on Pegula's serve. Sabalenka's power got her out of trouble on a number of occasions, while Pegula's struggles to hold her own serve, along with her inability to deal with the force of her opponent's game, proved the world number 4's downfall. Her frustration grew as Sabalenka took control of the second set. The 26-year-old broke Pegula at 5-2 up to win the tournament without dropping a set, as she hit 31 winners in the match compared to 12 from her rival. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, ensure you make use of your seatbelt while driving. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch your news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered 600 women with ingenious business ideas at the tune of 4 billion naira through the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTFW initiative to empower Lagosians? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has celebrated President Bola Tinubu's 73rd birthday with Thanksgiving services and prayers held simultaneously at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, and Lagos Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Alausa, as well as other religious centers in the 5 divisions of the state. The Senate has promised to prioritize the consideration and passage of President Bola Tinubu's tax reform bills when it resumes from recess on April 29. Also told you that the United Nations has warned that a severe shortage of medical supplies is hampering the response to a deadly earthquake that hit Myanmar as the search for survivors continues. And in sport, world number 1 Arina Sabalenka has claimed her second title of the year by beating Jessica Pegula's 7-5, 6-2 in the Women's Miami Open Final. For contact at the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Aderayo Idowolaya. Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.